Hello, it's me. I'm not going to do that again. Hey, everybody. I can only steal from College Humor once a month, so let's get into
We need a tally, like a little counter.
Yeah, who's enforcing this rule?
Countdown.
Brennan Lee Mulligan himself, actually.
Ooh, that joke's on him.
Brenton
Lee Mulligan. How's everybody doing? Been a good week between sessions, I hope. People in chat.
Have many things to remember.
No chat.
There's no need for a recap today. Let's just freaking get straight into it.
Yeah,
we got birds from a
we
lake.
don't do that here.
What do you... I think we clearly do, dude.
All right.
There's a man who asks for a recap each time.
Well, we met these lovely characters before you. I cannot see... Do we have names out? Okay, cool. Thank you, Peter. So we've met Basilar, the white-haired, slender individual with a knack for curiosity and the bardic arts of magic.
Do I just take that that player sheet now, or what?
Yeah, don't
Or do I like fill it in? I'm continuing to fill in my own
But like you know what's coming now. But
gotcha.
So perhaps you can if you see a good opportunity to kind of put something in flavor,
grab some stuff.
Be my guest. We also met Olim, the avian-like, the bird-like humanoid. He had a knack for all things natural, particularly tracking and hunting. He felt a sense of something missing at the end of last session, bringing him up to the top of a tree, where he felt like he would best be suited to wait for something or someone, who knows.
A question indeed.
We met Pequeno, the furred individual with long ears and a presence in his mind of someone calling out to him, and a lack of fire in his heart, in his chest. But there's no lack of fire in Brent's character. And though he does not have a name, he does have a flame inside of him that he has been able to utilize to extract information from people, specific kinds of information. The burning passions in their heart. We discovered that ability.
Tell me your justice.
Yes. And one other character who is not here. All that you need to know about him is that he is huge. He's pretty tall. He's like 6'7" or 6'5".
He was like 7 foot.
Yeah, 6'7".
7 foot, yeah.
Oh, 6,
7 foot. At that point, you're fucking
close
tall.
enough.
That's smart.
And he knew that he had a sort of duty that he had failed, and that his past was tied to the Ashlands. So he was whisked away. We ended the session at a compound, which you should see on your screen, with a few characters inside, getting ready for bed, getting acclimated with their surroundings and tucking themselves in for the night. But before that happens, one of our characters, named Pequeno, finds himself sitting in front of the fire. And I will move the scene over to you, as I believed there was something you wanted to do in this moment before retreating off.
Not muted. Good. Yes, I think for most of the night, because we sort of just got there and they kind of let us just hang around, right? Like Basaglar kind of took off.
I mean, you can still see me.
I can?
Yeah, I'm like in the building, like because it's all an open concept, right? There's no like walls in between.
But I imagine, yeah, I suppose.
I think it's like start like walking around the different people.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm still within sight.
He could be obscured if you
Yeah,
if you really want him to. You know, there's a
Imagine
there's a
it's a little
tent in
bit
the way. There's people standing.
busy. Yeah.
If you needed to see him, you could find him.
But Pequeno is, I think, just quiet for most of the night. I think eating rather slowly and doing this weird thing, like taking ingredients and then just sort of like putting them in the fire. Just slowly kind of on this rhythm every so often, like a cadence, kind of taking things and sticking like his whole hand into the fire and like leaving it for a slightly uncomfortable amount of time and then taking it out and then later reaching for something else and putting it in. Just completely mesmerized.
Does the fire affect your hand in any sort of way?
I think it blackens the fur. But it doesn't bother Pequeno. Or rather, he's not noticing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody comes by, they might just see like his hand in there.
I think in this moment, nothing feels out of place in order to kind of call for a roll or anything like that. You know, like you said, if someone were to see you, they would be more alarmed and see it as out of place. But you don't really know at the moment enough to know, you know, what's off about what you're doing. And to you, it just feels natural. So I'll just say that, you know, the things burn up as you put them in. Your fur blackens, as you say. But I guess it would feel oddly peaceful, but not in a necessarily comforting way. You know, just kind of like a lack of something else.
Yeah, if anything, the complete like absence of feeling just reinforces that that loneliness and that emptiness in his heart. Yeah, so he's just sort of maybe even a little bit slumped, and some of his fur is kind of like drooped down by the end of the night. I mean, it doesn't really even sleep. He just kind of stays there until the fire goes out, or somebody ends up coming around to put it out.
Perfect. I'll say that the fire goes out after, you know, a few hours. And unless somebody in the party decides to interrupt this, you're left to your own devices.
Thank you.
We will go outside for a spell. What's your sleeping situation going to be, Shadim? Or should I say Olim?
Olim would be, I don't know, since Brent's character let out that crimson burp and let me look a little deeper inside myself and know I like to craft, like to make. I think I would be trying to make some sort of little watch out, camouflaged watch out for myself, trying to get back into that familiar, something safe, what I know. So I'd be in there gathering materials, making like this weird, like simplified hammock, I guess, or like rope bridge, and like camouflaged a bit and trying to keeping peeled, almost like I'm watching out for the town. I think that would kind of take me over a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to call for a roll here. Usually
roll.
you wouldn't, but it's your first, like, you know, you only kind of know you have this skill because somebody burped it out of you.
Sounds like my everyday, baby.
Yeah. It's not yet a full skill, so I will ask you to pick up 2d6. And you can just roll me a... goodness. This is wonderful. Roll me
What do you want?
a spout lore.
Spout lore, eh? I add my intelligence.
Yes, please.
That is an 8, a modest 8.
A modest is that with or without your modifier?
That's with my modifier.
What's your modifier?
+1.
Okay, so 7 or 8. Same thing. On a 7 to 9, we'll read these out still as we are in the first couple sessions. GM will only tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. So this roll, it kind of it acts to put from what you're doing and seeing of like what it might kind of bring up
What am I
in your
trigger?
mind. Yes. You know, and like you're fastening these things, and I'll say the materials that you need to use and the kind of techniques, those kind of just come out of your hands as maybe your mind wanders, and so there's no issue there. But you feel this like profound sense of being watchful for something. It's kind of like guiding your hands of like, I need to finish this because I need to like be on the lookout for something. And not the thing that you were up here originally for, that kind of like feeling of there's like a presence out there that's waiting for me. But like there is something out there waiting for us or for me, or you don't really know, right? But there is this sense of like there's something out there, and I need to maybe protect the people that are here or warn them,
or at least
ahead of
prepare.
time. Yeah. You don't know if that's maybe something from your past or something that you're sensing from the nature around you. That is kind of left up to you to figure out, I suppose, if you would.
Oh, that's terrifying. I think I'd be sitting there and like thinking about this burning question that was asked and why to make, just kind of blurted out. And I'm like, do I like to make? To protect, to guide? And then because I was thinking of the guides and the people, and I'm like, to protect? No, something. And like just staring out, I think I'll kind of be looking for tracks, kind of those old like ranger habits will start to kick in. And I think I'll start focusing my attention as my hands move to build this little lookout, looking for signs of life, I guess, any big disturbances. And I think my focus will really shift that way more than anything.
Okay. Just for free, you know that there's somebody nearby. They had told you that they'd send somebody just to stay outside with you in case you need anything.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be wanting to disturb you. Maybe you hear them like step on a branch or something, or yawn as they get ready to go inside their makeshift tent. So you know that there's somebody nearby.
Yeah.
And you look out and you see, winged creatures flying above the horizon. You see some movement from land creatures that are affecting like the trees, kind of moving a little bit, like the thinner trees, not like the thick trunked trees. Just general, animal mayhem going on out there deeper inside the forests. And you do see like a light source deeper, much deeper in. It almost like you kind of blink and you'll miss it.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I'm definitely really going to focus on that and like zip higher up on the tree to get a better look at this light source.
You squint your eyes, and you can roll a discern realities check.
Plus wisdom.
Plus wisdom.
Wisdom.
What did you learn about your sheet last time? I believe I gave you
Hunt and track.
your wisdom, so you definitely have access to your wisdom. Yeah.
That's another 8. The 6
Another
plus 2.
All right, no experience for you, my friend. Just choose one question. You are looking at the fire, and so you can possibly even ask, what should I be on the lookout for? Who's really in control? What is here? What is not what it appears to be? Or what happened here recently? Or no, we'll stick with the questions. We'll try and stick with the phrasing.
Yeah. Just reality. So, what happened here recently? What is about? No, actually, I guess what should I be on the lookout for? Is probably the best question to ask here.
So you don't have any binoculars or anything like that to really give you a lot of information, as the light is coming from far off. But you do hear like scrambling coming up the tree from further below. And I guess that kind of takes your eye off of the light source for a moment. And you see that it is one of the women who had followed you here or had led you here. I didn't give you guys names last time, so just to make sure
You gave some.
to get that out of the way. Yeah. So you see, I will say you see
Like Jackal or something.
Jama.
Jama. I was
But
getting
now
wrong.
you see the woman with the shaved head and the form-fitting fabric. She climbs her way up to you, kind of meeting halfway, and looks up at you. What's going on up there? Do you see something?
Light moves. Sign, danger, or help calling.
She kind of like picks up her pace and that instead of like slowly scrambling up, she like reaches, throws her body up, catches herself on another sturdy branch, and brings herself up closer to you, kind of leaning off the tree and peering off in the distance.
I'll like dig a talon down into the tree and offer out a talon for my other foot for her to hold.
She takes it. She goes a little further. Well, they're still far enough away. There shouldn't be anything to worry about. And she pulls herself back the tree and kind of sits down on one of the branches.
I think I'll stay like hoisted up, looking out, and be like, Do you know feelings of knowing something you don't quite know?
I think we all do throughout our lives. But you mean anything specific?
I seem to remember but don't remember. A name that has no meaning yet. I want to do things, but I don't know what to do.
Are you feeling like going out there, out in the forest?
Maybe I feel I need to. Maybe not me needs to go out there, but somebody else. And I feel lonely, incomplete, like I'm missing a friend.
Well, you arrived with some pretty peculiar people. Maybe one of them is the friend that you miss.
No. A wild friend. Missing something.
Well, if you feel like venturing off, please don't do it alone. What you saw out there, it's not safe.
I feel I would only go out with directions. Good. And I'll climb back down and sit in like some of what I've made.
Nice handiwork. You did this yourself?
When the mind wanders, the hands move.
Yeah, this is true. Well, don't let me take up too much space of your mind here. I'll just be down there if you need anything.
Mm.
But I suggest you get a good night's sleep if you can.
Get a good night's sleep if you can. Mm. Yeah, good advice. Nothing like the stars. And I'll like sit up in my little hammock and look up and drift to sleep thinking of that friend I feel like I'm missing.
She's like, like kind of like under her own breath, like, I see you mocking me. Just goes into her little tent and closes the flap. And we go over to another tent, another flapped tent, off closer to Basilar. Is it Basalagar? Peter, you said, I know this is like a
Basilar.
diabetes medicine or something.
Basalgar is the
Yeah,
diabetes.
Basaglar.
Basilar.
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 No, it's Basilar. It's Basilar.
Basilar, you had sat with the man playing the drums. And since I wanted to kind of like go off at these two and give them a second, I want to move back to you and see if there was anything that you had wanted to do in that kind of moment that we left off at.
I'm gonna sit down next to this man. What are these things that you're playing? I don't think I've seen them before.
The songs or the instruments?
Well, both, I suppose.
Well, and he kind of just like changes up his tune, I guess, to be a lot softer. You see he's like using like the pads of his fingers at the edge of the drum. He's like, I just play what's in my heart. And this is, it's just a drum. Do you not? I thought you would come back with some sort of memory of instruments.
I've come back with nothing. I don't think anyone has had any particular revelation of their past yet. Are we supposed to? I don't know exactly how this works.
I haven't experienced it myself. Still kicking after all these years, but I don't think there is supposed to. It's just what is and what will be and what was. I'm trying to find a line between those three things.
All right. Well, I don't know what was, and I don't know what will be, but for now, what is that whatever this song is, it drew me, and I'd very much like to learn.
Ooh, learn. It's a little late for a lesson, but if you've got nothing better to do tomorrow, you can come by my tent, and I'll show you. And he starts to like show off, and he does a little faster, louder, just like showing you kind of what is possible with the drum and hands. But to you, I'll just say that like it doesn't seem largely impressive as you might expect. Like the new things that you've been experiencing have seemed. It kind of like you're just, if anything, you're kind of like more wanting to learn than anything, but you don't feel necessarily like, wow, what is he doing? You're kind of just like, ooh, I'd like to learn.
I need to do this too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he stops, pulls something like this thin, kind of like, I guess you would maybe know what leather is. It looks like animal skin.
I feel like because you said that there's certain things like we knew what a boat was, we knew like what certain like that kind of basic material would probably be something that we would recognize.
Yeah. Puts it over, it's like a covering, and ties it up, pushes it over to the side. And he says, he kind of like looks you over for a second, and he says, my wife is about to put the kids to bed, the grandchildren. Do you want to come and listen to the story?
I think I'd very much like that. Yes.
All right, come, let's not disturb her. She does not like too much of an audience. And he takes out a cane and kind of like pushes himself off his seat and hobbles over to the tent nearby, the one that we had kind of whisked off to. And he holds the flap open a little bit. And you hear, the sounds of like breathing and movement, but it's generally quiet, kind of creaking, people shifting, getting comfortable in their beds. And then you hear a story from an old woman's voice. And she says, soon after the world began, God sat back and took a long look at the world. He was especially pleased with mankind, but as time went on, he noticed that man and woman kept injuring their bodies. The skin would heal with time, but it always left scars. After many years, their bodies would look old and tattered, thought God, so he decided to present them with new skin. He called the chameleon and said, I have a gift I want you to deliver to all men and women. Go straight to the people and give them this parcel for me. With that, he gave a small package to the chameleon. In those days, chameleons were as fast as lightning, so the chameleon immediately set off to do as he had been asked. He sped towards the earth, the parcel neatly tucked under his arm, and when he reached a vast river on the way, he stopped to take a drink. A snake, who had happened to be drinking at the water at the same time and place, asked the chameleon where he was going. The chameleon said he was going to deliver a gift package from God to mankind. Now the snake disliked men and women, as they were tall and often trod on snakes. He was bitterly jealous of the attention that God gave to them. And when he heard about the gift, the snake began to scheme. How could he make it so that the people never received this special gift? Oh, dear cousin chameleon, the snake hissed. It's so good to see you again. My family has missed you a great deal. Why don't you join us for lunch? The chameleon looked at the sun high in the sky and decided he could have lunch with the snake family and still have plenty of time to make it back to the people. So he agreed to join the snake's family for lunch and thanked the snake as he followed him into the burrow. The snake's wife had prepared a huge and sumptuous meal and was truly delighted to see that the chameleon had come to share it with him. She encouraged him to have more and more, as it was so delicious. The chameleon helped himself until he was almost too full to move. Forgetting his task, the chameleon fell asleep. The snake hissed and gently lifted the package from under the sleeping chameleon's arm. What is that? And then she stops. And when she stops, you hear the snoring of many mouths and many people.
That's beautiful.
Basil's just like enraptured. He's like listening and not trying to seem too like invested, but he's like avidly listening. Like his posture might not seem completely like enthralled, but his eyes are kind of like I forgot the word, but like just like riveted on this woman like speaking the story.
She like, kind of just dusts herself off and stands up and says to nobody in particular, perhaps I'll continue that another night. She turns and she sees the flap being held open, and she comes forward and pushes it open further and said, I told you not. Oh. And she looks at you with like, not just this like surprise that somebody's there, but there's like something more behind her eyes of like, of shock as she's looking at you. And she looks back at the old man and then back at you. Were you here the whole time?
I do apologize, ma'am. I heard there was a story being told, and I couldn't stop myself. I was too curious.
She's looking back at you. Yes. Have you And he says, "Don't don't worry. I'll teach him tomorrow." The old man like takes your hand. "Come and see me tomorrow. There are things to be discussed." And he kind of like
All right.
grabs your face. It's getting late.
I apologize for disturbing your rest. I'll come back tomorrow.
No worries, no worries.
Thank you for the lesson, and thank you for the story.
Come on, dear, come on. Just like kind of looks a little like impressed almost at you. And gives you a little wave, and in arm in arm, they hobble over to another tent nearby. You still hear the from inside the tent.
I'll head back to the tent that was just given to us, where Pequeno is.
Wonderful.
Kind of just like post up on a log or whatever is there as a seat, or even just on the ground if there isn't anything. And just kind of, I guess, eat. I don't know if we have like there was the food that was given.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still there, cooling down slowly as it's off the direct fire, but the fire is still lit as Pequeno is shoving his hands.
Does that not hurt?
No, not at all.
I feel like fire would hurt. It feels so hot when you get close.
Would it? It is like nothing.
I'll try.
It's fire.
Yes, it hurts. I don't. It stings. It burns.
It seems to have left some residue on me. I'll like try and wipe it off, but then it just kind of gets all over. Gets in my other fur, on my other hand. Just all the soot.
And
could you help me with this?
I can try, and I'll try and like dust him off. I suppose like dust off like his fur.
Yeah, I kind of just start like wiping
Or if
my
not,
hands on you.
like go and inquire for some like water.
Yeah. There's plenty of water. There's just enough where you can use the drinkable water. Another pail.
You can go back to the lake, and you can just wash your your arms in the lake.
Oh, yes, thank you. This is a very good idea.
Do you go with him to the lake, Basilar?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. So we end off the day on this scene. We see the twilight sky, the waters reflecting the moonlight as these two figures walk towards the water. Nothing particular happens as you wash your hands, and the night kind of subsides from there. And we return back to the camp and back to the unnamed member of the party the following morning. Just before the sun kind of comes up, you find yourself in a dream. Something between like a dream and a nightmare, perhaps, as you are just surrounded by flames and heat and fire, and it is consuming everything in your vision but you. And there is no escape from it. There's no moving away from it, only moving into it.
Well, like my birth dream, which is what I think I'll call it, birth vision. I think that, yeah, I move right into the heart of that fire, and I want to feel what I felt again, because that was the most concrete memory. That is the most concrete memory I have.
You move into the fire, so much so that like there's just nothing. You can't tell which direction would be further in because you're kind of in it at all sides. but like there's like this unnatural quality to this fire compared to your birth vision, and it's unsettling. How do you think your like initial reaction is once you realize that you've like dug yourself deeper into this thing that isn't like what you were searching for?
I think my reaction is to, in a sense, like try and quantify why. And it's like not to escape. It's like, why is this different? And I think that's also kind of what's been happening so far. Is like, why do we have to obey these rules? Like, what are the rules of this thing? What is happening right now?
I'm gonna ask you to roll. It'll be another discern realities, unless you can possibly like look within yourself for an answer and do like a spout lore, or you can try and understand your surroundings and the situation that you're in and discern the realities of that.
That's interesting. What do I want to do in this moment? I think what the Nameless One wants to do, I think that the fire that I'm experiencing right now is not another reality. It's not something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's myself. And I think that the Nameless One believes that the birth vision, that fire is also me. I became that fire. And now I'm not the fire anymore. And it's weird. So I would like to spout lore to try and learn a little bit more about what's going on here.
Very cool. This time around, I will not be giving your intelligence bonus. So just roll me a 2d6.
Yes, sir. I'm just going to click it in our thing just so I can see the description, but I want to roll real dice. Did I get a good roll in the thing? Yeah. I rolled worse. I got a 5.
A 5. Mark experience. Yeah.
Rolling
up a note there.
We were gonna mark experience from last time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Let's do it at the end.
Sleeping, so we could possibly do it after this.
As the night progresses, you get experience.
Yeah.
Wow, so great.
Okay, I like that. You guys are all technically sleeping. We'll finish this and we'll do that. EXP. So mark experience. And I think you don't find answers at all. You just find like the fire just becomes out of control in a weird way. It starts to act like erratically and like fire doesn't act. But it's like it's dying down, and at the same time, or like in the same instant, it's exploding as if there's something kind of fueling it.
As I desperately, like, I'm waving my limbs around trying to get a sense, and it's just kind of like wrapping around, and I'm losing track of even the motion of the flames, and I can't tell.
And you were like, you're stuck in this dream. You know, you would expect to wake up, like even just maybe just naturally, of like, you know, like get me out. Like you kind of realize like this isn't real, but you can't get out of it. You're like the fire, something about this flame is just keeping you within it. And you're stuck in this fiery dream for a bit. And before you wake up, let's see how everybody gains experience throughout the night. We will from now on and forevermore be doing this at the end of the session, but because I forgot, we will be doing it twice today to make up for last.
Yeah. EXP. EXP.
We give it, and we take it away.
I'm curious how it's questions in this one too, right?
Yes, it is. I don't know why I didn't put it in the section, but luckily Roll20 should have everything I need.
Does it?
Can you see on stream the little window that I opened? like
No.
moves?
Well, maybe.
No,
No, I
just
don't see
just the
Okay.
map.
Oh, there.
End of okay, well, you guys can all read it. End of session. When you reach the end of a session, so last time, choose your bonds that you feel resolved. We haven't formed any bonds yet, but at the end of this, we'll do something. So ask the player, did we learn something new and important about the world last time?
The world.
Yeah,
The world. It exists. I exist.
I think, therefore I am.
Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
The water.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give you that. Do we loot memorable treasure? We did not.
Well,
Memories?
Olim got a stick.
No, not that nice. So you get one experience from your end of session. And we're taking this campaign a little slow, so I don't mind. As the night is coming to an end, perhaps in the moments of stirring to wake up, are there any bonds that have immediately formed between any of you on the first day? I don't like using the ones that are in the book in this case, so this will just be something that you can call out once you feel a bond being formed with somebody.
Hey.
Interesting.
My strongest bond right now is going to be with Olim. Having used magic on you, and then you having said something really true, and then like seeing you think about it, I think that the nameless one is kind of intrigued by that. Also, your flustered exit of the water at the beginning, I think sparked some sympathy in him, and he was like, "Oh, it could have been so much worse." In a sense, he helped you. So.
Just stand up, dude. Ow.
So this bond that you've formed with him, so the way it works is that bonds need to be resolved in a certain way. Now, the resolution depends on the type of bond. There's a few examples here. So if somebody saved you and you kind of formed a bond in that way, then you might owe them something in return. If somebody did something that you don't like, maybe you want to form a bond of like, I need to keep an eye on this person because they exhibited like weird like behavior that I don't like.
Can I say in this case, since this developed with Olim's proclamation of creation, potentially I'm looking forward to Olim creating something.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I'll say that you feel you need to like assist in some way, whether that just means like supporting him or giving him the space to do it. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to get in there with your hands, but you feel you need to be a part of that moment of him creating, and your bond will be resolved at that point in time. Is there any others? Don't feel forced to create one out of thin air, but from now on, we'll kind of think in those terms, and even I'll throw some stuff out when I see it. But if
Sounds
that's it,
Yeah, well, let's see what
I'm gonna hold off for now.
yeah.
One last thing, I failed a roll last session, so I get another experience. So I'm at 3.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that
Each time you fail a roll, and then with the like end of session experience, so it all accumulates.
Right. Sweet.
Awesome. So you finally come out of this dream, nameless one, this nightmare, sweating, just drenched, wetter than when you came out of the lake, but it's your own sweat, and you feel hot.
Yeah. Get up, leave the like. I probably at some point got into a tent. You know, the night will cool. And you like wake up a little bit cold by the remnants of a fire and just like crawl into a tent and like sleep. And now I guess sun rising, beating down on the fabric starts to warm up. Like come out into the morning air.
And the air, like it doesn't feel cool. You know, it feels hot. It's like that hot summer wind on you.
Ugh.
Very
Balmy.
uncomfortable.
You know, we're mid-Feb or end of February right now. That sounds so good. That sounds incredible.
Today was great.
Yes, it
Tomorrow's
was
gonna be
so
better.
warm. Holy
Just
shit.
saying.
But tomorrow night is -12 again. Just so we know, just so everyone understands, it's a
Come
-20
on.
degree difference.
Oh,
Okay.
Dad's coming in clutch, playing that thermostat. Yes.
Yeah, walk out, wipe the sweat, kind of like shield my eyes from the sun and look around. What time of day is it and what's happening?
the sun is like just starting to come up. None of your friends, none of your companions are awake yet. There's a few people out near the lake, one of which you recognize as the woman who would kind of look at you and bug you a little bit, though they don't seem to have noticed you yet. They're kind of like down the path on that little map.
I think I get a bit of a mischievous smile that touches my lips. The fact that they don't see me, and then I would like to look for the people I awakened with. I just want to clock where they are. I think that there's a sense of like aloneness in having woken up from this dream. And I just want to look for other people who are sharing the same, I guess, timeline as I am, essentially, because as I walk, I think I'm looking around and I think I'm getting a good idea of like, this is like an interim type of camp. This is like, we're being observed, we're being watched here, we're being kind of studied in a sense. And I think I'm getting that impression from the false wall, that other section of the camp that we're kind of not allowed to go to. And as I look around and I see like the other people that are here, like, do I get the impression that they're still recovering their memories as well? Like this is that kind of like a recovery type of encampment.
I'll give you
pretty cool.
for
Memory rehab.
Well, it was mentioned last time that a lot of the people that are in this building were the family of like the people of the order, and they were brought along with the people to live and take care of the people that kind of leave the lake.
Yeah, and you see, I guess like you can clearly see the difference between like the camp that you guys have, which is kind of like bare bones, just place to sleep and a place to eat, while every other camp has, you know, the like unnecessary things of like having lived somewhere, little things that have been like tied up to fashion to like the shape of a little toy, and it's strewn about, and there's clothes hanging. You know, somebody's clearly washed their clothes and their underwear and stuff like that, and you see books and like long signs of life.
Yeah, long-term living kind of. So are there any other short-term living then?
As you walk through from the exit to your camp, I'll say that there doesn't seem to be any. It doesn't seem like long term. Like people have been here for like years. There are still trunks out. Water is being brought in and out in like big pails, which doesn't seem like a way that you think if this was like a permanent establishment, they would have thought of a better way to bring water in for like the years of their lives that they've been living there. So there are kind of aspects of like they're setting up here for a while and they're getting comfortable, but none of the tents seem to scream of like, oh, this is kind of like ours. This is just somebody who's sleeping here and has other priorities like getting their memories back.
Yeah,
so you do think that like you are being kind of watched in that way because you're the only ones.
Yeah. So my gears start turning and I start thinking like,
Cheers.
oh, gears
That
tick. Yeah, something ticks into place, and I start thinking that either they rotate shifts for the watches, or they have multiple camps that they maybe cycle through, or like what is going on? What is behind all of this? And I think that mirrors that dream of like, why is it weird? Why is it different?
Mm-hmm. And you also, I mean, you've seen the people in this camp in like passing. There are a few people who kind of have a similar hue to them as you, in a way that none of your party members really do. Also, you even like you kind of recall, and maybe at the moment it didn't click, but there's like a small boy who's like pretty purplish hue to his skin, although none of his parents seem to have it. He looks like you in the same way that that other nameless one resembled one of the women that were with you, and he was like immediately recognized and taken aside. But you never got that kind of recognition.
Mm-hmm. So, seeing this, am I able to ask somebody a question? Like, I just want to approach somebody who has that similar skin.
Yeah. The only one that you. Okay, so there's like the small child, like the small boy who you don't see, but you kind of remember where he was. And you see his dad like getting breakfast ready. He doesn't look like you in that way, but his son does.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look around if you want to see if there's like an adult that kind of has that same look.
I'll actually approach the dad since he's right here. I think that I walk right up to him, kind of like give a small bow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Perhaps you are aware that I am newly come from the lake.
Yes, we were told yesterday.
And I appreciate your patience. I have a question to ask of you.
Sure. I don't know how much help I could be, but what is it?
Nothing incredible, I think. Something that perhaps you take for granted. My memories are still catching up to me. And I kind of like hold out my hand. The color of my skin is different, more similar to your boy. And I would ask you to pray tell why we share this similarity, where it comes from.
What were you what were you told by? Why don't you come just walk with me for a second?
Of course.
Kind of like looks in the tent to make sure things are okay. Come. Kind of leads you back out. the way that you came. And he notices the people at the lake. And he brings you kind of like away from them, not too far, just like along the wall, maybe just around the corner. And he kind of like leans up against the wall, still a little tired, wiping some sleep from his eyes. You don't remember anything, right? It's just us here.
Just language, just concepts, enough to talk, enough to... I don't know if I can, like... Yeah, I touch my eye, enough to know that there's something different about me, but no more.
Looks over his shoulder. You will want to figure some things out about yourself before making any decisions. You, like my boy, are special, and it's not a bad thing, but it's not a great thing here either, because there are only two ways that a person such as yourself, or as my son, comes to be, and that's either through a gift from the king you bear, or from stealing something from the king. It is a mark of the king, but it is never clear how it is gained, if you were given this or if you had taken it.
Your boy was given a gift?
Yes, luckily, being so young, it is assumed that he did not have the ability to take when he was born, and so he must have been given. But an adult like yourself, it's hard to say. The marks that you have, the hues, the colors, they can be brought on later in life. So you might not have always been this way. And I only tell you this because you don't remember if you did steal it or not. And so I won't cast judgments on you like others had cast judgments on me and my family when they saw my son.
Who gets to decide whether this is stolen or not? Much like your boy, I seem to have been born with it right now.
That would be... He kind of looks around again just to make sure. That would be they're called the High Order. They are those who are not gifted with the king's magic, but they're tasked with making decisions, because their powers are not merely gifts or merely stolen, but they are earned, and they get to say. They have the final say. But they are nowhere near here. Their business is much deeper within the Ashlands, so you don't have to worry yet about running into any of them, but as I said, you will need and you will want to discover more about yourself before you venture too far off.
I see. Well, you've imparted your wisdom upon me, and I am humbled before you. I give him a small bow. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Piece of advice, if I can. You want to familiarize yourself with... hold on, I'm forgetting her name. You'll want to familiarize yourself with Anira. Her niece is like you. Her niece is like my son. But she's old enough where there are questions. So she might sympathize with you more than the others.
I see.
And look, she's right over there. And he points to the woman that I had mentioned earlier, who had been kind of giving you attitude unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
The squinty-eyed woman.
Yeah, my expression to him is I think of like gratitude. As I think I probably would like reach out and just pat his shoulder and walk off towards her, and just kind of like give him a firm like have a good day nod. But as I
You affirm,
turn,
have a good day, nod back.
but as I turn away, I think my expression just like darkens, and that feeling of like they dare to judge me for just being myself, and I think I feel for his boy. And then there's like almost like a happier anger of like, what's her fucking problem? As I walk towards her, and I think that playful smile comes back to my lips of like, guess it's time to go find out. But was I able to spot where the others were while I was kind of like I walked around and?
Yeah, I'll say that he brought you around the kind of edge, and as he's talking and explaining, you're not like directly like maintaining eye contact the whole time, and your eyes kind of wander for a little, and you do notice there's like another tent nearby, and you remember hearing that Olim was going to stay outside, and that somebody would be sent with him, so you could gather that he's there. And the time that you spent inside, everybody had just been sleeping, your friends, except for the other nameless one, which you had I think you had acknowledged him. Give him a
When he
nod.
left, yeah.
The nod
He's
of
still not there.
acknowledgement.
Yeah, the nod of acknowledgement. He is
The
not
nod,
there.
the have a good day nod.
But Pequeno and Basilar are still sleeping.
Okay. Quite cool. As long as I spot them like in the compound, like I think there is like I don't know about the rest of you, but like you wake up from a nightmare and there's like that irrational fear of like, am I alone? Where am I? And I think just confirming that the others are here and I haven't been transported to some other new dimension all of a sudden to be born again
Waking
and
up in
again,
another
like
lake.
reborn in fire every evening or every like there's some sort of like, okay, like no, this reality is real. And I walk to find out more about it over to Nasira.
Inira, Inira. Yeah.
Inira.
Inira. And as you walk along, I'll say that Pequeno and Basilar, I don't know why that name is going to haunt me for the next couple of seconds.
I infected you.
It's like
With the Basaglar.
Pequeno and then Basaglar. Basilisk. Basilar.
Babanuki.
You awake to the smells of baked or baked cookies.
That was a hard pause right there. You wake to smells. Something I would start with.
The smells of food being cooked. The sounds of people not being loud but moving about. And you hear this like soft kind of nearby outside of your tent. Something being dropped, but something soft being dropped.
I don't think I was inside the tent.
Oh, you were outside the tent.
I would have slept like by the fire.
Okay. So then you're wakened by like somebody turning their back and walking away and leaving a pile of what seemed to be clothes for you.
I'm there with Basilar too.
Thank you. Look, was this not? These were given to us before. Excuse me. Wait. These were given to us before. Are we supposed to change into these now? Are these not enough?
The woman like laughs a little, and like you look down and like you're pretty much only given like a sheet to wrap it around, and like you have like you guys had but, like you look like everybody else is like wearing clothes, even like the robed individuals are like somebody's in a dress, like there's designs and there's fastens and stuff, but you're just like tied up. It's just like, yes, you can change, or you can keep that on if you want to. But we just thought you might be more comfortable with some options instead of the sheets that you were given. Yes, of course.
What are the options?
Basically, whatever you would have wanted your character to be wearing. Since I made them appear naked, it's just a pile of undefined
Starting
clothes.
clothes.
Yeah, and so whatever colors you want, whatever kind of, however you want to look.
The old lost and found. Yes.
But what kind of colors they got amongst the?
What are the tones of clothes in this?
Mhm.
They're
is
definitely earthy. You're not finding any neon colors. You're finding greens and browns. You're finding golds too, and like
Bright pink,
dark yellow to like gold, which seems to be kind of like a theme around here. And there's like whites and beiges and I think I said browns already. So yeah, earth tone.
Okay.
I'll talk about brown.
Then I'll get an actual tunic. I'll wear an actual tunic.
Okay.
Not my fake tunic. But in some, maybe like one of those like darker gold colors, like something like a copper or bronze or something. I know it's not actually metallic, so. Yeah.
Are you okay with your sheet, Basilon?
I think he's gonna keep the sheet, but he's also gonna start picking through the clothes. He'll look for kind of a full, not like a muumuu, but like a full robe in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like greenish brown with these just like golden like accent lines going down, kind of almost reminiscent of those lines going down the women that passed or that brought us here, all down like the sides and around like the hem.
Beautiful.
She just like puts that over.
And Shadim, I think you also wake up to like the faint smell of cooked food, and the woman underneath your tree just like yells out breakfast and makes her way into the compound.
I'll like and kind of like still asleep, kind of like hang upside down from my little hammock and like fall out a little bit, like flap my arms and breakfast sounds good. And, like sleepily follow her to breakfast.
Wonderful. She'll bring you to your friends. There's also a pile of clothes for you there. If you would like.
I'll wake up and go, new scraps. And I'll take more clothes and rip more ribbons and keep wrapping myself. Wrap my arms more and my legs. And it kind of looks
Does
like...
it kind of like get up like further up along your arm, or is it just like always the same area?
No, it
getting,
goes
like,
further
thicker?
up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm patching up more, and it's looking more like a toga-ish, but it's just like a series of wrapped bandages. And I put one
bird
around my
mummy at the end
beak
of this?
too. I'm like, this feels right. Yeah. Breakfast?
You are a strange little man. You turn around. The woman with the very strong-looking, strong-jawed.
I'm like, I don't think I'm that little. He's like, look at his arms, all like gangly and shit.
He's the shortest of everyone here.
Am I? No.
Oh, wait, is Bikini still short?
Yeah.
Pequeño is 4'4".
And Brent's character too.
I'm like 5'7", I think. So it's Pequeño, me, and then Simon, then Olim.
Me,
Basilar, then
Olim, then Basilar. Yeah.
Olim, then Basilar.
Yeah.
And then the giant.
And then
The big man. The center.
Yeah.
You are small, and like she like kind of like pokes you in like the stomach. You have no meat on you.
Meat.
Yeah, her finger would just sink in through the feathers.
Yeah, how ruffled are you?
So ruffled. I was thinking about
Can he be ruffled if he's like tying it down?
Well,
with,
between the
grass?
ties, right?
Yeah, like
Oh,
yeah, they're
popping
like
out of
popping
places.
out places in the bandages. Like, I just awoke. Can't have meat in your sleep. Was I
Alright.
sleeping? What were we doing before water?
Your guess is as good as ours.
And then I'll look at her and be like, "Did you come from the water too?"
No, I came from my village. You come from the water.
Were we born? Were we just born? They'll look at the other guys.
Only now.
You don't. I thought we explained. Where's your friend? I could have to do this whole thing again.
I think they did explain it to us yesterday, but do forgive us if it's a rather large concept to grasp.
Yeah.
When we've just been, I don't know,
He
remade,
does not understand.
returned from
True.
something we don't even remember.
But do you guys feel purpose too? Unknown purpose? Purpose. Direction.
No. Bikini only feels emptiness.
I felt that emptiness too. Are you missing a friend too? Pequeño?
A friend. Perhaps that is what Bikini was missing. A friend. Will you be Bikini's friend? And I'll like go up to you and like grab your arms.
You want to be Olam's friend? Put up my hand. How do you feel about? Look at him close. Outside.
I like look up and like I imagine the sky is like above, like in view. Just like Bikini does not understand.
You know, there's inside people and outside people. And in here feels like inside, you know?
Bikini does not feel this, but Bikini would like to see these outside. Can we go outside?
Yes, sorry. I'm going to be busy today.
Do we need to be busy?
No, I am going to be busy. There's a change of plans. Sorry. Panya is going to take your friend, or she's already gone, off to the druid. We will try to help him remember. I have my duties here, so I don't know what do you want to get up to today? I don't have much time, but I can point you in the right direction before I leave you.
Well,
want to go outside?
I'm going over there, and I'm gonna learn some things.
Good.
Don't really know what.
Don't worry. The people here, they know what is going on. If they think they can help, you should take it.
I think so, yes.
I saw a light last night outside. Far.
Don't worry about that. Let's see what else.
Like,
Yeah, she kind of like just like.
Can I kind of like? Can I kind of suss this out? This is the second time someone has nonchalantly told me not to worry about this thing, and now I'm kind of worried. You know.
Let's see.
Like, are they hiding something with this other than our general safety?
I mean, the initial obvious answer is yes. If you want to know more, This is going to be the bread and butter roll, I think, for this campaign.
Mm.
At least until you remember everything. So it's going to be plus your wisdom, which I believe you have already unlocked. And you will roll discern reality.
Discern realities. Ooh, that's my thing. I dropped that. Ooh, baby, that's double sixes.
Ooh, very
For
nice.
14.
Wow, is that a
It's a
crit?
natty. It's a fucking natty.
Bitch, where you hiding?
Cheers, boys.
So you got
thanks
two
for the mason
questions.
jar.
Thank you.
Oh, Julie. thank you.
If you need the list, I can read them off again.
2 questions. Is there
No.
like a +1 forward or something?
Not until...
Yeah,
oh,
plus
no,
one
sorry.
forward when
3
acting on the answers.
questions, and you take a +1.
Hey, and a +1.
3
Three
questions out of
questions.
6? Jesus.
Oh man. I guess who's really in control here? And what is about to happen? No, actually, yeah,
Well,
who's
take it
really in
one at a
control
time.
here?
Okay, we'll
And
start with that one.
what happened here recently? And could I hold the third one?
Yes. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I'll allow that for sure. Well, through the conversation that you guys are having, the bits that aren't acted out, she does tell you that she had a conversation with her superiors, unless I had already said that. I don't know. So you assume that there's a higher power that she speaks to that isn't just like a god figure, but there are people out there who can tell her kind of what to say and what to do to a certain degree. There was mention of I think
A
the
king?
order.
Yeah,
No,
order.
there's the king, but you think that's like a more of a religious kind of thing. This seems more concrete than that. I think somebody mentioned the order of Kafif.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
When we were
So-
walking towards Batman.
Yeah, and like from her like being busy today and the plans that they made last night were changed and stuff like that. Like they aren't in charge. They are just following orders from somebody who isn't here. You don't like it doesn't seem like they're going out into the forest to get this information, so you don't think like them telling you not to worry about the forest, is it? But you can't really, from this small conversation, you can't know more than that on that question.
Mhm.
The second one was, remind me.
What is about to happen?
What is about to happen? In what frame that question?
Or sorry, actually, no, not that. I'll do what here is useful or valuable to me, like in regards to them kind of trying to stop us from doing stuff, I guess, or in regards to that light or what I saw. It's kind of hard to frame them because they have to be in frame with the question.
Yeah. You could also ask what here is not what it appears to be if you want.
I guess okay, yeah. That'd probably be
I
the
don't want to
best.
force you into it.
No. Yeah, that's
I
good.
don't want to force it, but it's what I have an answer to.
And I'll hold the last one.
Yeah. Okay. I think. I don't want to just give you something at random, right? Obviously, you know that they're hiding something. The woman who was looking at the light source with you, she did say that like they look like they're far enough, or like they're still far, and so maybe that like contextualizes itself.
Yeah, I'll be like, and I guess I'll lean in and I'll just be like, "What are you really trying to keep us from here?"
Like she looks. Are the rest of you kind of listening actively, or are you distracted?
Yeah, I'm a little. Yeah, I'm there.
I mean, if there's food,
I'm
he'd
kind
be
of
like,
just like-
eating slowly. But
Yeah, I'll be like, the other one said they're far enough. What's far enough? What's going on?
I can show you if you pick up and follow me outside.
Theatrics. Then follow her.
It will be worth it, I think.
You guys
Yeah.
coming?
Oh, yes.
Friends?
Pekinio is coming.
You can
Friends.
stay if you want to.
No,
Us.
no. Friends must stay together.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do we know where the other one was? I'll look around for Brent's character.
Oh yeah, fire guy.
She puts a hand on you. Says he's with Inira near the water.
Near the water, so near the lake.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unfortunately, the nameless one isn't here to realize that perhaps he was being watched. But she brings you out. You do indeed see them standing out at the lake.
Okay, so how far from the encampment is the lake? Like, I felt like we were walking for like a while before, like last session.
Yes. So, if you can see the little map,
We
that I
still see the
made.
end of session on top, though.
Really? Oh, sorry. It's because I have two. I have a window that I'm controlling, and I have a window that I'm sharing from.
This guy's
Supposed to be
freaking
using
Tony
this
Stark.
So the water goes much like further down and up than the small square shows.
Mhm.
And so this place is close to the water that it's close to, but you guys appeared like much like further down.
Okay.
So somehow they knew to go and like run down to collect you and bring you back.
Oh, and they did say that last time too. That we are much further than they expected.
Yeah. So they're around
Yeah.
here, which is not very far at all.
Interesting.
Okay, just watching the stream. That isn't apparent in the shared where you're pointing. It's not seen in the center of the.
We're in roll 20 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
is the
I'm saying it's
screen
not showing up in the
centered
stream.
Stream. Okay.
So if you're trying to show like everyone, then it is not apparent.
Yeah, just drag it over a little bit.
If I zoom out, there we go. Oh wow, that's actually perfect.
Hey,
Yes,
thanks,
so you
James.
guys are all here. Yeah, thank you. Not you guys are all here.
In the
the
stream,
nameless
we
one.
still can't see your ping, and we can't see the water.
No, we just saw the
What?
thing.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in
You
the-
can see the edge of the
Yeah.
pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I can put it. But so it's within like shouting distance. So
Okay,
I can't drag it.
but we're headed away from the water, or not towards the water. Like
So
this person.
she's kind of taking you like at the bottom of the compound
Okay.
around
More
here.
towards the forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you're like
Gotcha.
you're kind of like taking like this path, and you see them standing. I don't know what you can see on stream, but they're standing.
Yeah, you can see the blue.
That's a beautiful line.
So you have like a moment to kind of disrupt the nameless one if you would like, or you could just follow them.
Do they seem in the midst of conversation?
Yes, definitely.
I don't think I would interrupt conversation, but I would just like notice where they are and kind of like for like later.
Okay. We will go and listen in on them, so that hopefully by the end of the conversation, the nameless one has an opportunity to join up with you.
The nameless one.
The nameless one. You approach her. She seems to be taking like dirt or sand or some sort of like soot or something. And she has this contraption of sorts where she's like dunking it in the water, and it's being like it's getting all wet, but it's staying within the confines of this like barrel kind of shaped object that she holds, and then she pulls it up, and you see the water kind of come out from the bottom. She's doing that like a few times, like really, what's the word?
A strainer or a
saturating, I
sieve?
guess? Yeah, she's like saturating all like the dirt and stuff with water and then letting it out and then like doing that again. But she puts it down before you get to her and like turns to you and maybe just like leans on it.
When I see Inira, the father had said that she was like me.
Her niece was like you.
Her niece is like me. Yeah, because you didn't. I don't remember you saying that her skin looked like mine.
No.
That would have been a big detail. So, as I approach her, does she still have that suspicious look on her face?
She has a look that you can figure is waiting for your reaction. Like when you do something to someone and you're not sure if you've pissed them off or if they took it right. So you like you want to smile, but you don't want to like seem like really sorry. So you're just like, are you about to yell at me or are we good? She's kind of just like waiting.
Yeah. So I see that as a bit of an invitation, and I say, "Good morning."
Good morning. You sleep well?
Rest was able to lay itself upon my frame for the most part. You're up early today, hard at work.
Yes, just trying to. Well, here, come closer, if you don't mind. And she reaches in and grabs some of this like wet, like almost mulch, and she like kind of not hands it to you to like take, but for you to proceed.
Yep.
So
I
this
approach her,
is
look.
we call this ash. It is earth from the ground, and it is mixed with waters from the Kufua Lake, and it takes on a certain property that we find to be very beneficial for, well, at least people like us. And you feel that like that acknowledgement that you didn't get the other day when she says us, and she like looks at you in the eyes. She says, maybe some of your friends wouldn't work on them. I'm not too familiar with how it works. Like I said yesterday, it's our first time being sent here when people are actually being taken from the lake. But those of us from the lands, it has a certain kind of magic to it.
I take a few steps towards the lake and look out. And then I just probably blindside her with, do you see me as a hard worker, or do you see me as a suspect?
Right to the point. Okay. I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know if you came out of the lake with them or if you used it as an opportunity to get yourself back into the Ashlands. And she's like not breaking like any eye contact. You get that she's like trying to look for a reaction out of it.
Yeah. And I think there's not, yeah, her words roll over me, just confirming, her suspicious look, essentially. I was told that your niece has been viewed similarly as well.
Her face like scrunches, but then it softens as you don't follow that up with anything kind of threatening. So she nods. Yes, she's gotten a lot of trouble just for looking at the way that she does. And I don't exactly blame the people who treat her like that. But it isn't fair for someone her age. I don't know why I'm telling you, but don't know what a word that I'm talking about.
Is she standing or is she crouched down?
She's standing. She was leaning a little comfortably at first, but now she's kind of standing strong.
Yeah. So I look at her and I ask, do you believe your niece? Do you have faith in her?
Yes, of course. Are you going to say that I should have faith in you?
No. But I am a hard worker. And I will lift the mulch basket.
Ooh. My friend. You use your strength.
Oh no.
-3.
Look at how you do.
know enough,
No, that's me to do it.
You know enough about like the world to know that things get heavier when they like get wet and like retains some of that water. And so you expect something of this size filled with enough of whatever it's filled with is to be as close to the brim as it is, to be heavy. But with your 15 base strength score, it is not as hard as you might have imagined.
Damn, son.
Ooh, 15. Okay.
15, which is only a +1 in this, but you know the plus only goes up to 3, and it's right on the cusp of 2. So it's pretty good.
15 is a +1? Damn.
Yeah.
It's pretty silly, actually.
My wisdom's a 13, and it's also a +1.
Yeah, that's why I was going through it. I'm like, wait, this doesn't seem right. And then I look, I'm like, no, yeah,
It's a large range.
big
for
range.
+1.
But yeah, it doesn't go up very, very far, so they need to kind of widen
Spread
it
it out.
She just nods and walks with you, and she'll say, "No, I don't quite trust you yet, but if you are trustworthy, I will be glad to have found you. That's all I'll say." And she walks with you, and you see your friends walk off with the other, the woman you're with. Sorry, I haven't said these. This is like the first session I'm saying somebody. Anira. We'll say, okay. Amana is over there with your friends if you want to give me that. But you're a hard worker, so I'm sure you'll want to bring it back to the compound with me. She kind of like smirks at you.
I look at her and I think I like have like a sly look, and I say, "Why ever would I want your trust?" And I bring it back to the compound with her.
Okay.
Then I'll probably, I'll bring it back with her, but then I'll probably have like try and like trot off after everybody. This is what I try not to let her see is like, everyone's leaving. Why? I kind of feel like, what's going on? Was I fooled to go down by the water?
I'll say the walk is long enough where you do see their pace start to slow down as they turn. It doesn't look like they're going off on a long journey. Your friends don't look packed at all. You know, packing a bag is something that you do when you leave. That's not something you would
Squint my eyes and they're wearing clothing. I'll look around for the clothing pile.
At what point would he be like close enough? Because like I feel like Bachelor's kind of like listening in and looking back, and like listening in and looking back.
I'll say that like you reach the point where the line ends. By the time that he maybe reaches like here, so like you're all the way over here, and he's over here. Um,
I'll like throw like a large wave.
Yeah. Kind of like I guess I reciprocate, maybe not as large.
I don't think you can if you're holding the basket, right?
Drops it. Ooh,
15. I think I can spare
Oh,
a hand for a moment.
damn.
But I will take the time to get dressed at the compound before I catch up with everyone. And I think that having spoken to her and having talked with his father, and I think like because the kid was just like running around playing, doing whatever, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
There's a part of the Nameless One that like goes to grab like a colorful piece of clothing and to be like, like I'll go out, I'll just be out there, and then puts that aside and just takes something dark, like either black, like as dark as I can get it, with a hood and like potentially like even gloves if I could, and like really covers up. But with I think like in this camp, like hood thrown back, like clearly revealing my face,
Yeah.
but just my face. What is what I would like to do.
Absolutely. Black gloves, black coverings. It's funny because when I made your character's description, I mentioned that like you would most likely be wearing a hood a lot of the time. So I'm very glad that you've chosen such a garment. We'll say at the end of this scene, you will be able to join the party. So you are all brought close to where Olin was sleeping up in the trees.
Catch up.
And
little hammock.
Nameless One.
she points up. Where can you see on the stream? Perfect. So she points up to here in this direction, past the compound on the other side, and she asks you, Basilar. She says, "What do you see when you look beyond?" I'm gonna ask you.
Beyond the compound, or like at the
Yes.
horizon.
Just
The strange
beyond.
blue line.
The strange
Look
blue
past it.
line.
Everything past
Look with
is
your
your
special
kingdom.
eyes.
Everything past the blue line is our domain. Alright. That's some old dice here.
No, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. I don't
I'm
want
taking out my dice and everything.
to
You not roll.
Sorry. If you fail this roll, there's no reason to fail this roll.
Alright. I'll keep my dice.
Yeah.
That's a good deal right there.
You see this like veil pretty far off. It's almost as if like you're just beyond where your vision can clearly see things. But upon closer inspection, you do notice like there is something there that's kind of warbling, and it doesn't have a form or a shape or a color, but it's just this presence that kind of blocks your vision at a certain point from being clear. So what do you think that is?
So it's blocked, but not physically.
It's like a sheet of some magic, I will say, in this world, that
Okay.
you can see like colors behind it and like large shapes, but you can't.
But it's like
see
kind of like
anything clear.
opaque.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the word.
It looks to me like there's some sort of barrier potentially put up.
Yes.
I don't. Are we able to pass through?
No.
Oh.
Right now you are in, and as viewers, as players, we can zoom away from the world, but you, as characters, cannot. As we zoom out, you are in. Oh, the map is completely not Cincinnati.
Oleande.
What if I
Yo.
do this? It lets me scroll up and down, but it doesn't let me move side to side. Am I too zoomed out? Is that one?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you have
when
to
there's a
zoom.
little.
If you zoom in like once or twice with your scroll wheel, then you'll be able to click, I believe, your scroll wheel and drag.
Perfect. You are in what we call Oleande. There is a border between here and Akamba. That is where most of the people live. Many people like you are living there now. But it is guarded from our area of Oleande. Do you wish to know why? She's still like just speaking to you for some reason.
Are we allowed to know why?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, please.
Because once we tried to set up a barrier between here and the forests, and the living things that live in the forest did not like that. So there is nothing guarding us between what is out there and what is in here, what we hold dear here and what seeks to harm us out there. There is nothing. And every attempt that we have had to put something up, it has been squandered, it has been squashed. So you are not safe here without us, and you are definitely not safe out there alone.
Past the barrier, you mean?
I'm so sorry. She is pointing, so she points now to where there is just trees.
Okay. Towards the edges of the map.
Yes.
Okay.
This is unprotected.
The
In
upside.
there, you would be safe from everything. But out
Right.
here,
By who or by what are your attempts stopped or failed to put up something between you and the forest with the dangers?
good question. She looks at you, Olam. You like theatrics? What you say?
No, I said you guys with the theatrics. No one just. No one gets to the point. Yeah.
All right. I will get to the point. We called them the Black Locust.
Huh.
They are like you. They are like me. They are alive and they can speak. They can feel things. But that is where our similarities end. They are savages. They take our people for blood and they use it for their strange, dark magics. They do not wish to live comfortably as we do. They want to live in nature and they want to disrupt it and they want to mold it into whatever they want it to be. And they would not hesitate to take you and your body and your blood and use it as they wish.
And these creeps were making light last night?
You likely saw a fire or something. They are not so barbaric where they cannot use fire and shelter.
But they live in the forests out there.
Yes.
But
They do not want
They-
peace. They want problems only.
but they live. What if they found us first? Oh, I guess here is safe.
Now, why do you think we were sent here? Why do you think there's always meant to be some among us here? This is why we ran out to get you as soon as we were alerted that you were out. Because they were likely alerted as well. We just made it first.
Is this
What alerts?
sorry, is this why the camp there is no long-term camp?
Oh, I did not know that you were done your journey.
Like shows up.
Oh, you meant at the end of this scene.
Yeah, it's okay. You can just.
No, didn't get said. I'm just planting seeds, I guess.
No, I really don't mind if you join.
It pops out
You
of the
can
tree.
like
line.
pop out from a tree.
Nameless.
So sorry, I was so distracted. What was your question?
It's fine.
Oh,
I'm not here. I'm not here. Don't worry about it.
Turns around.
I thought I heard something.
Oh,
So, what exactly alerts you all?
Oh, you did not see. The waters, they become very bright throughout the process.
So you have watchers.
Yes. Always someone watching. And I assume they as well.
How
Should
close are
we-
these?
Oh, go ahead.
No, friend, please.
No, friend, you.
Friend, you first.
No, friend.
I must insist.
Somebody
Can you
has
insist?
voiced it already?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
One of you
Okay.
start.
You first.
And the Black Lotus.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Black Lotus. The Black Locust
Yes.
that you mentioned. How
Yes.
far are they from the compound?
They are, assume they are everywhere outside of the compound. We have no one outside of this territory. They own, well, it's wilds. It's the continent. The whole continent outside of where you are is like that. And we have no one out there. It's far too dangerous. Even without the black locust, the nature out there it's too dangerous for us to survive.
Should we encounter one of them? What should we do?
Run or fight?
But you've been fighting them for a while. They got like a thing they do. What, do we just, stab them a bit? What makes them so strong?
You sound so happy to be stabbing something.
No, protecting us from them. I'm stabbing for justice. I guess. Are we just? I guess we're kind of scared of these things that we
What do
don't
you feel
even
in your
know.
heart?
We never
The
even
enemy.
met them.
You want me to be blunt? As you had said.
I look at the group. Friend?
Mm-hmm. Be as blunt as possible.
We have made an agreement with the members of the Black Locust. When one
You're
of our
giving people,
own,
aren't you?
we wish not to, if we can avoid it.
Oh, okay. Does the nameless one show up at this point? Is he?
He can show up at this point. It's an important bit of information.
And the nameless one.
I think I'm gonna use my last question to, as she's kind of talking about this deal. I'll use my what is about to happen to get the full range of just in case she's not leaving anything out.
Okay.
And I show up.
Yes.
Nameless.
Ah, dude.
Is nameless a friend too?
Well, yeah, he told me to stand up. I was drowning,
Nameless, huh? There's something we can do for you to help at least get your name back. But there's something you'd want to hear first.
Sure. I walk up and I think I just pat Pekinu's shoulder, and I give it like a friendly squeeze at your mention of friendship. But I'm fully listening to the thing that we must hear.
We do not control who comes out of the water. So we never know what will happen. But we have claim to those who have lived here before. Those like me and your friend and your other friend. And perhaps even you. And she looks at you, Basilar. You are... There is something. I have not been around the world, so I cannot say if, just by looking at you, if you are Ashen, but you seem Ashen.
So me and friend Pequeno got saved because of them.
No, we would have helped you regardless.
Oh, okay.
But they have claim
Oh,
to one of you.
one
For
of us. Oh,
for every group of souls that emerges from the lake, those who are not Ashen, they can claim one. And they will not harm anyone here. That is the deal that we have.
If you can only claim one who is non-Ashen, how did you get both Kinyo and Olam?
They have not made themselves present yet. So
oh,
they do not know who has come out of the water.
Does that
So
mean
if
we
we
have
can
to
get
leave?
you away from here, or hidden or something, this is what we are trying to figure out. This is what I'm supposed to be busy with today.
so you let us sleep while our lives endanger a whole village.
You're not in danger in the compound. They would not be so bold as to enter.
Pequeno, old buddy, old friend,
Yes, my good
I think
friend.
we're harming these people.
Well, that is the last thing that Pequeno wants.
And that's the last thing that Olam wants.
And perhaps, friend, we must go to save these people.
Ah,
I think Olam should guide people away from danger. And I agree with this.
what?
Hmm.
Did you not hear what I said?
They said that we're safe here.
But what if they find out about us, dude?
If they
Huh?
find out, then we may not be able to control who leaves the lake, but we can control who goes back into it.
Sounds dark.
Your friend here thinks right. They have claim, but you do not have to go. You do not have to obey. You can fight your way out. We cannot help you. That would be breaking what we have written up between us. But we can arm you. We can help you remember how to fight. And if you can survive long enough to get past that border, and she points to the kind of opaque border, then you will be safe.
Oh,
Huh.
Olam,
Yes, friend
I
Pequeno?
think I prefer this.
I prefer this as well.
Yes.
Give me paper.
Paper?
What is that?
It's the first step to any journey. Huh, I don't know why I said that.
I don't
Anyway.
like paper.
We will train, and we'll get strong, and we will not be a liability.
Well, there is another way.
Oh,
If you are quiet enough, there are other places in Oleande. They know that you are around here, and by the time they arrive, if you are gone, we have not done anything wrong. We have just let you go. There are other places like this in Oleande. Others who can help you, others who have many means that we do not because we are bound to our promise. So you can stay here and you can fight for sure, or you can perhaps have a better chance somewhere else. Or you can stay in the compound and they will not come in and find you.
hmm.
wait it out. Maybe a few months.
To get into a combo, do we need anything special? Can we just walk right past that barrier?
Your friend, your tall friend, was given permission to by someone with more power than I. I don't know why exactly, but he has some business in there.
That one walks with purpose. More purpose than we have at the moment.
Right, so we need permission to get through the barrier.
Yes.
And how would we get that permission?
I wish I had a map or something to show you. She doesn't know that I have one.
That's my bread and butter.
Is there someone we have to speak to? Is there some thing we need to acquire to let us pass through?
Bikini will do anything.
What can you do, little dude?
So, do you wish to go?
Well,
we
I
wish
feel
to
like at a
prepare.
certain point we might have to. So better to know how.
I think we wish to prepare to go. If that makes sense.
I don't much like the idea of one of you being stolen away so soon after we awoke together.
Precisely. So we should prepare how to get away from these individuals.
As fast as possible.
Well, I would not advise trying to go through the lake. And since it is blocking your path, you will have to go around the outskirts of the border. Yes, if you go to Botos, that's Bothos, Botos, there is a ruling family there that can give permission to those who, well, they make the rules. So if you can gain their favor somehow, I think Inira is going there to see her niece. Perhaps not today. We can check. If you go there and if you can convince Inira to bring you, that might be safe. She will have to lay low, but she can keep an eye out for you. You have to. I don't know. I am welcome everywhere, so I don't have much experience, but you will have to gain their favor somehow and do something that they deem worthy of gaining entry through the barrier. Otherwise, you can go to Utu. It's a little further, but they are much kinder over there. They may have a way of helping you, but no one there has the express permission as the ruling family of Botos does.
I would like to speak to Anira's niece. Now look at the rest of you. If we could at least stop there, I think that would put us a step closer towards victory.
Yes,
Right.
Bikini will follow friends.
And I'd like to see as much as possible.
Maybe we should see what we can learn here first and then move on.
Learn about ourselves as well.
Learn how to fight.
Do we have any indication of when these people, what are they called?
The Black
So-
Locust.
Yes, there are many different tribes, but they all fall under the flag of the Black Locust.
Lotus or Locust?
Oh, but is it so bad if they? I mean, just as out of character, I wasn't here, so is it so bad if we can't just travel with these black locusts?
Well, from what she's told us, they tend to use our blood in certain rituals, and you might not survive their travel.
Food for
So
magic.
that might not
Food
be
for
best.
magic.
I mean, if you are so inclined, you can perhaps try and join them and become savages yourself.
I should not like to have death visit my door so soon.
Well, this one raises a good point. You should learn to fight. There's only 4 of you. This should be fun, if you will.
But yeah, but I thought we were not enemies.
No, it's called training. Let us see what you have.
Oh,
I have these clothes.
oh, very well.
No, what you have in there, in your heart. If you have fight, if you have fire.
Do this, and I make the light.
She like grabs your wrist and like turns it.
You asked what I could do. I showed you.
I think seeing this, I'm gonna bounce like back and be like, I'll be like, friend, but can you fight together?
Oh no, Bikini would like to, but Bikini has no fire. Not at all. And I just kind of slump and begin to walk away.
And I'll be like, fire, passion, and I'll like like run off to the tree line again and try and try and craft like a little weapon for him. Probably like a little like makeshift like stone axe, I guess. Or, like, you know.
I kind of like peek over, like take
Buy,
a
like,
little
a large
interest in what you're
stone
doing.
and a
like,
stick and like some scraps from my clothes and like wrap it around so it's like has a blunt head. This large stick.
You rush off, and I'm like, I'll buy you time. Fire, you say? And I like, ah! And then I attempt to like.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. We can have a nice little battle. Stakes are low. All right, let's start with.
There's stakes.
Steaks.
I mean, you know, any fight can go terribly wrong.
steaks. Chicken steaks.
No! The callback.
We can. Oh no, we don't have. You don't have like a long tail. You have a fluffy tail.
Okay. Brent.
Nameless.
No initiative in this.
No initiative.
Just straight fisticuffs. Yeah.
Roll me 2d6. And we'll, depending on what you get, is what I'll give.
3.
So, experience.
Oh, you guys gonna level up so fast.
Yeah, seriously. Describe to me the flames of which you conjured.
In my dream, were they like a certain color or something?
Yes, they were. You might expect them to be hued with some sort of purple or blue. They're red, but they're like a magical red, not like just a regular fire red.
Yeah,
It's bright.
like
It's like a bright red.
like a Sith lightsaber kind of red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I like that kind of like neon glow, like white center, red exterior kind of flame, and it probably feels weird, like the flame in the dream, because a natural flame would be a fire that is devouring, but this is a fire that is emitting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whiffs are coming off of me. I guess I like manipulate it. And I'm just trying to distract her, essentially, to buy time. So I don't know that I like try to hit her directly with it, but it's more like I'm like trying to float the fire through the air or something. No concept of like how combat is supposed to go.
Unfortunately, with a 3, the fire does start to like eat up at like your long sleeves, and like you're controlling this fire, but like not fully enough to contain it. So as you're like moving around your hands, you're like setting your clothes on fire and it's like it's not contained. It's like eating its way
Oh,
up
shit.
your body and down. And so unless you just like are gonna let it consume like all of your robes, you have to like.
I think what I do, I don't know if you're gonna let me. So I do this to like distract her. Then I notice that I'm on fire, and I just run at her.
Kamikaze?
You run.
What the heck, dude?
The fire's like on your arms, and she just like steps to the side and like puts her foot out.
A trips her,
Drop and roll.
flaming.
And there's like smoke coming off of your body. And she turns towards the only one left, Basilar. And she just does this.
Oh,
Are there any rocks on the ground?
I'll say you can take a couple steps, pick up a rock.
Pick up a rock and throw it at her.
Okay.
Think it's a
Easy
volley?
enough. Yes, it's a volley.
All right. I'm going to need. What was it? Dex. Yeah.
Just roll, and then we'll see.
Okay.
You do that. So I don't just keep giving you everything.
So it's a 7
Okay.
on the dice.
A 7 on the dice. My friend.
A plus 0, maybe.
A 7 remains a 7. Not necessarily because of your score.
Oh,
But the
okay.
7 remains a 7. So let us read volley for the first time. Volley. When you take aim and shoot at an enemy at range, roll plus dex. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. Whichever you choose, you deal your damage. So you can either choose. Hold on, sorry. On a 10 plus, you have a clear shot, deal your damage. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. Whichever you choose, you deal your damage. Okay, you have to move to get that shot, placing you in danger of the GM's choice. So you'll have to position yourself in a way that might expose you to danger. You have to take what you can get, and you get less damage. So you roll a d6 and you take that away from your damage roll. Or you have to take several shots, reducing your ammo by 1, which would probably be the best choice. In this
How many rocks do I have at my disposal?
I mean, there's rarely just going to be one rock that you can throw. So, you'll throw a couple, but there's a couple to throw.
Pocket rocks.
Pocket rocks.
All right.
Yeah.
Minus 1d6 damage. Is that
You wanna
like
take that?
nothing?
Well, so as you feel the strength behind your throw, you do get something revealed to you.
The
and that is
dex
your damage.
behind my throw?
Your damage die from here on and forevermore shall be
Oh
a
shit.
d6.
Damage die
So
d6.
anytime Basilar rolls damage, you're rolling 1d6. Unless it tells you to roll twice your damage. Something like that. Because in this game, your class gives you a damage die, which is special to you and your class alone.
Okay. So it's just it's a d6.
So it's a d6 minus a d6, if that's what you choose.
Or my ammo is -1.
Yeah.
But like I don't have any ammo, so like I feel like that's not fair to choose.
We're training. That'll be your. And who knows? Maybe it'll come in later on this trading session.
Yeah, there's only so many rocks on the floor, so now I think
Now there's no
story-wise,
more rocks around
there's
my
one
feet.
less
I
rock
can't use
around.
this again. This is the only time I can use this tactic. Sure. I mean, let's see what I roll, anyways. A 6.
oh,
Nice. Since we're in like she's not gonna kill you, you're not gonna kill her. But
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So we'll do like non-lethal damage unless you're taking this opportunity to.
I mean, I don't know what I'm just like, she's like trying. Everyone else is gone, and like apparently, she's still like, she's like, come on. I'm like, all right.
So she like she has her hands up, and then you just like, and it's this weird throw of like not strength, but like this like little flick of the wrist at the right moment to kind of catch it at a weird angle.
Keeping her
Where she
up.
has to like throw her like arm up, and like part of the rock maybe like scratches along her face as it whips past her, and she kind of deflects a little bit of it, but it draws a little bit of blood, and she goes, okay, very good. Up in the trees, you've finished fastening your weapon.
Makeshift hammer.
The nameless one finds himself with smoldering but it's not been extinguished, so whoever wants to go. Pekinu, though, you kind of walked away.
Sorry, I was in D&D mode. I was like waiting for a turn, but you're
Well,
right. I just call it out.
I do want to come down and like give you the hammer.
I think I even just kind of like go like, drop it, friend.
And I'd be like, chuck it over to him.
And I'll kind of like jump out to catch it. And as soon as it lands in my hand, what did you make for me?
It's like basically like a makeshift like hammer, like a stone axe, basically, like kind of something you get in like the forest. There's like a stick and like rags and a big old rock.
Ark survival, first hammer.
Exactly. The first like axe or something that you need to make out of wood and stone.
Make a slingshot out of like your wraps and.
Ooh. That's a good
I
idea.
got some other ideas.
I'm just gonna like, as soon as I catch it, I like spin on my heel and I like dash at her.
Like, look up.
Gonna, like swing out with it.
Wonderful. So unlike your pal Basilar, this is something that's more than just I'm just gonna throw a rock, see what happens. You kind of, and like maybe you describe to me like what flows through you, either your mind or your heart or your center, as you're rushing towards somebody with this weapon in your hand.
I think Pekinu isn't expecting anything until the weapon lands in his grip, and then from there it's just sort of almost like an automatic response. Maybe his eyes even sort of like slit a little bit or like kind of like change in appearance, and he just like, you see like it lands in his hand, the axe, and he just carries the weight of the momentum and kind of spins himself to like launch himself at her, and it kind of is just like one fluid motion. Like,
so sick.
but he's like, his whole body is like being thrown into it.
It's like almost your size too.
Oh my god, it's huge.
So I will give you 2 things in this very specific situation. You made your character sheet, so you know all your stats, but you unlock the knowledge of your strength stat and of your damage die. As this, in this moment, this is like, and she is not trying to kill you. She's trying to see what you're made of. So she kind of lets you, in a way, show her what you're made of. So just go ahead and roll your damage die, which is, unless I'm mistaken, a D10.
Oh, damn. D10.
Ooh, here we go. I like that there's actually different dice.
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's not just
that.
2d6.
I was sold on this system when they did that. Like, it's not just 2d6. Do you have another freaking die?
Ooh, a 9.
Oh, you described to me how you like catch her off guard in this moment and show off.
Yeah, she gives a look, maybe kind of like out from like behind her or kind of at the corner of her eye, and I think she's expecting an attack, but she's not expecting how close in her face I am, and like the axe is just pulling me along with its weight. And so it's just like coming dangerously close to her.
Yeah, you whack. I mean, she has like pauldrons on. She
Yeah,
has
it's
these
pretty-
rings that are like
made
made of
stone.
like so you're not doing like crazy like 9 lethal
Mhm.
damage to her, but like you nick this like golden armor with this weirdly fashioned just random weapon made of cloth and a rock and a stick. You see this like the scratch. That's not just like something that you can just like wipe off, but it's something that's gonna have to be like buffed out in her armor as she kind of like throws up her shoulder at the last moment, and you like she looks at you and she smiles. And she says, "You sure you don't want to fight them?"
Kind of, I think I sort of like roll away and kind of look at her. Yes. Is that something that we can do? Just fight them.
Of course. Did we not tell you when you got here? You always have a choice.
And they are your enemy.
Oh yes.
Yes. Bikini would like to fight them. Kind of readjusts, kind of holds it, like gets used to the
Yeah.
heavy like stone axe.
You are made of something tough. Tougher than this soft skin of yours. And she like pokes you in your chest. For a moment you feel just a little like a little hot flash, you know? A little
Moves
menopausal
super
hot
fast,
flash.
pops up in front of him,
And then it goes
pulling around.
At this moment.
Yeah, it's like
And she looks at the one on the floor. But this one, I don't know. Not so much.
Getting up.
You are made of fire. We can train.
Dust off.
I think that whole time too, as they're talking, I'm just making like a javelin. I found another stick and I'm like sharpening with my talons, thinking fighting's still going on. They're not looking at it. I'm just like make.
Now, before you make any rash decisions, I did say that I would help you remember your name. And she looks at you, nameless one. Is that something you are interested in?
Only if I'm the only one who would know it.
Yes. Very well. Come inside when you have a moment. There will be someone there waiting for you. And she kind of bows and like puts a hand on your shoulder, Bikini. Kind of like pats you in a way of like just kind of like seeing what you're made of, you know?
I think I'm like very like floppy now at this point. Like people have started talking again. I kind of just like I'm like not as tense anymore. It just shakes me around easily.
Okay. He's like water. And she leaves you. The grass around you still a little scorched from from one of you.
I think if I'm done making a javelin, I'm still not like picking up on the vibe or paying attention to what's going on. So as soon as I'm done, I just like fucking chuck one fucking at her.
Okay, go ahead and volley, please.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Does that count as a surprised shot?
Is that something?
It's one of my skills. If it's if
Ah,
I attack a surprised or defenseless enemy at range, I can call where I'm trying to hit them.
interesting. Defenseless or surprised enemy at range. Go ahead and attack them because technically you don't have this yet. And then if you hit, we can see what we can do.
Yeah, but I put my dex.
No.
Oh, just to the damage.
No, because you're just kind of you're.
Oh, because I
doing
don't
right
know
now.
I could do it yet. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That is 7.
7. Okay.
Nice.
So on a 7. Sorry, I just need to look. This is weirdly written.
Yeah, because it goes like up.
Yeah.
It goes up above parlay.
They did nothing. Standard Druid. I don't think. This won't be revealed yet. On your 7 to 9, you strike at your target. True, but she does that thing. I forget what scene it is. Captain America like goes and grabs the spear out, and like she reveals herself for a moment of like there's this gold behind her eyes that like shines out.
Oh.
And then like her eyes are both kind of pointing directly at you as she grabs it, and then they fade down and she nods and like just goes to like throw it back at you, and keeps walking.
Like at the same speed? Like she's trying to hit me or friendly?
No, like a lot.
Okay. Like
But
I
she
try to
like
catch it too.
so you don't hit her, but she does kind of like reveal herself to you.
Like, oh, somebody's got moves. And I'll like catch my javelin back and like stand there waiting. Actually, I'll call out, nice moves, friend Pequeño.
Ah, yeah. Very good throw.
Are we leaving? Are we going back with her right now?
She just said come in when you're ready.
That's what I thought.
So
Yeah.
you can. It's up to you.
I actually have a previous thing that I need to get to. I have to go in, not to see her, but see somebody else. So I'll battle and make his way in.
No worries. I'm also not sure how much of an attacker I am, but there's something I've been meaning to try. And then I want to, I'll look over at Pequeño and Willem. What will you two do? I don't think I'll be here long.
Look to friend Pequeño train with friend.
Yes, let us train. We will remain here for a little while longer.
Perfect. That works for me. And then I want to like intensely look at the two of you and start like concentrating, and then close my good eye and shift my face so like my bad like that magic eye essentially is looking at them, and I'm trying to perceive something out of it.
I want to leave the rules of the eye in your hand, because that was kind of like your one input into this.
Yes,
character.
and I know what that input is, but I think in this moment it's like the nameless one is just like, can I, like, he feels like there's something right about doing that, and I guess in this moment, if you're leaving it to me, and he's like studying the combat for a while, maybe I see like a shifting of magic or something a little bit on them, but I see that kind of like the barriers maybe a little bit more perceptible in the distance over like where a combat is, and then I probably end up getting distracted from their battle as I like kind of like a kid with a magnifying glass, and you like look around a little bit and then you're like, oh, like, yeah, like what looks different, and then probably get caught up doing that. And I probably, unless there's something around here that I would see.
There's many things around you. I can give you free knowledge with no risk, or I can give you earned knowledge of the risk of failing the roll, which would obviously not be great.
You know you love those
Could be interesting.
rolls. You know you love
Let's
those
fail
rolls.
another roll, baby.
What do you want?
All right, let's. I risk.
What? Okay.
Just, I'm
You're
here,
like,
I'm here to roll.
what
I'm here
am I
to play
doing?
games. I'm here to play
Okay.
games.
So
Is it
it'll be
2d6?
it'll be 2d6. I like giving you the option of the d20 because it's your one dead eye, so you're like rolling the d20 of the eye. But again, this is a more dangerous roll than the 2d6.
Let's do it. Nat
Let's
1,
do it.
baby.
Oh God.
Do it.
3.
That one?
No, it's a D20 now.
It's a d20. I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Oh. Ooh.
I still think that 1 to 3 was
1
a
to
critical
3
fail.
was terrible. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I haven't
Oh,
succeeded a single roll. So
But here it's a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah,
Mark
You're failing up.
you are. You are.
You might
You
level
can be
up.
mad strong.
Yeah.
how many XP is it to level up? I have 5.
5, I think, no? Like
Yeah, I'll have
Monster
to
of the Week?
double check, but
Yeah, it doesn't say on the sheet like the other.
Didn't you make the other one, Peter?
What?
Like the Monster of the Week ones. I feel like
no,
you like
it is-
I think
modified.
that was.
your current level plus 7.
I don't
So-
remember.
Yeah, I feel like you're like, I don't like the way it looks. And you like modified it so we had like different things, you madman.
Ooh,
Maybe,
you have
maybe.
a boon. Be rent.
Ooh, B
I assume
rent.
it's for right now.
Oh, that B rent is just fucking through the
Do I, get,
roof.
do I get to apply that to this roll, or is it my next roll? It's a bit late.
I'm pretty sure she was inputting it, unless
Yay! Slushy Puffs, is it for this roll,
Probably not.
or is this for
There's,
so that I
there's
don't
a
fail again?
delay.
B
Take it
rent.
Take it
now.
now. Hey.
Let's go.
Let's see
And
if I
it's
erase.
advantage. So even if it's worse, you don't.
Okay, even if it's worse.
Can only be better.
Shout out
I take it back.
to the 2 crew.
Oh,
Destined to fail.
you're gonna say
God
shout out to Slushy Puffs.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Shout out
Thank
to
you
the
so much
2
for the
crew.
moon.
Gordon
podcast.
Ramsay.
Thank you for the
man.
chance, though. I appreciate it.
Holy shit.
You see Pequeno.
Mhm.
You see Pequeno. He's just Pequeno. He's regular Pequeno.
Bikini is bikini.
And getting ready to train with Pequeno is a horrid, zombified individual covered in wraps, a soulless husk standing in the place where your friend just was, shambling, breathing laboredly. And maybe you like in shock kind of like uncover your other eye,
Yeah, probably like open my second eye. Like, what?
and for a moment they like take up the same exact space, their dimensions, where they're standing, how they're standing, and then you see regular Olin. And that, my friend, is where we will end.
Oh my gosh. Creepy fella.
Oh yeah.
Friend.
Very creepy.
Living
is this
quite
zombie?
the life.
What
My
other
gosh.
magics can our friend Basilar create? What is this flame that seems to plague the Nameless One? And who the hell is this strong Pequeno? We shall find out next week in session 3 of Ash and Blood. But until then, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, your Twitch here, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, Red Sky, all the skies. What are we playing on Thursday, boys?
It's a little Aglarond.
Yes. Back at school.
Back at
Yes.
school.
You can catch up on Aglarond on YouTube, where all the episodes are uploaded. Our VODs will now be lasting much longer. They'll be lasting 60 days as opposed to 14. So you can watch us here if you want, but you can give us the view on YouTube. Otherwise, we are the Hexagon, and we are Hexagon.
Bye-bye.
Hexa, bye-bye.
Hexa, bye-bye. No.
Wait just a minute. Wait just a minute.
I caved. I debated. We debated.
Whoa.
It's a lie. Nobody
We're
leave.
back.
Nobody leave.
Playing with your emotions.
End of session roll.
Oh my god.
God.
You woke me up.
All right.
I'm ready for
EXP,
round 2.
go.
Let's
You
go.
just lost the whole everybody in chat though.
No, they're here. They're still here.
No,
Are you still here, Chad?
They're here.
Of
They're
course.
hanging out. Yeah, they like to have a party after me.
Yeah.
They
When the
stay
real
for the
fun
full
begins.
20 minutes. Okay.
You said we wouldn't do it again.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
100%. You forgot EXP.
EXP.
Let's do it. Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, wonderful.
Nameless is gonna level up for sure.
So, have we
He's
learned?
already leveled up. It's 1 plus your level.
Yeah.
He has 5 and we're level 1.
1 plus your level is
No,
the
sorry.
EXP?
What was it? 7 plus your
Are you level
7.
plus 1 or
So
something?
8. We need 8 to level up.
Damn.
Never mind.
So,
But if we can answer 3 questions right now,
Oh shit, okay.
I'm going to give you
7.
guys
Interesting.
treasure, I guess. Did you learn something new and important about the world?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Black
many,
Locust.
Many a time.
Did you?
The barrier between different, like,
Yeah.
And the
Territory.
King's Mark. Mm.
Ooh, very true.
The royal
we didn't learn
family
that,
of
though, technically.
Bothos. Bothos.
Both of those. Did you overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Does this woman count?
What was
Yeah,
her
she
name?
was pretty monstrous, but we didn't overcome.
Inira, is that her name?
Sure.
Amana
she-
is this one.
Amana, yeah.
Amana. Okay.
Although
Catch him,
only
catch him.
only Brent was told that. Do people really introduce themselves with their names? I feel like even when I meet people in the wild, unless I'm prompted, I don't give my name unless you ask me what my name is.
Hey, how you doing?
Serious.
Welcome back to life. We're not even gonna fucking tell you our name.
In true
Figure it out.
Japanese, in true Japanese fashion, you cannot ask my
Oh,
name
wait.
unless you introduce yourself first.
No, I did say that Ashen, those of you who felt yourselves as Ashen, felt a desire to keep your name to yourself.
Yes.
At
Yes.
the moment.
Mhm.
So there's a precedent. I meant to do that. Did we loot a memorable treasure?
Although this woman asked us our names when we were reborn.
Trying to
Mhm.
get
Trying to
the
get that
upper
leg
hand
up.
on us.
Mm.
You know, sneaky bastards. Everyone's a sneaky freaking bastard.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
so
about?
so we learned something new, but no treasure and no overcoming of
So
monstrous
I'm gonna have to
evils.
give you at least treasure sometimes. Because no, you're not gonna do notable monster every session. I don't think there's the expectation of that.
Jeez.
But treasure, maybe.
And treasure.
Treasure. We got
Meaning.
We got clothes.
Meh.
This is. I mean, I'd be willing because it's
I wouldn't
memorable.
treasure
It feels
because,
like a stretch.
I wouldn't treasure it. I don't know.
It's a Luffy stretch.
like-
right?
I think I treasure these clothes. These are like the
yeah,
first
these
things
were
we
like
get to
your
choose.
clothes.
Burns-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to choose what you look like and what you're going to be wearing from here on out.
You
so.
burnt them immediately.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
treasure
pretty
the
memorable.
ash.
Ooh, okay, that's a real treasure.
It was a treasured experience.
Take your 2 XP,
No.
but from here on out, clothes are not memorable.
Oh shit!
Everybody
It's
gets
like
one.
armor or something. What
Don't
if I get?
challenge us, Siege.
I personally need fireproof clothing. Is that going to be a treasure?
I'm gonna make everybody
Depends,
some clothes.
Every session, I made shoes.
The leaves and stuff.
Toby was given a sock.
no,
So we got 1, Is that it?
So you got 2. You got
I was looking at 2, eh?
Oh, I can't get one more.
next time.
Oh, you gotta fail a roll.
And were there any bonds created at the end of this?
Damn
I think
right.
between Bikini and Olam,
I think so.
at the very least.
Yeah. Furry friend.
Do we choose? Can we choose NPCs for bonds and stuff too? And,
You're
and
not
how many bonds
supposed
can we create?
to. You start with, I think 3, and then you have room for 1 more. I can look that up later, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 4 bonds that you can have at once. But you'll be resolving them and forming new ones. They're supposed to be with players, which I found a little odd, but it's okay.
Well, because you don't have like NPCs following you throughout, it might be hard to like make a bond, then like never be able to resolve it.
That's true.
Now you're stuck, Jack.
All right, so NPCs is just quests. I have a quest to go speak to Inira's niece.
Very true.
For myself.
So Olim and Bikinu, think of a way that you can resolve your bond for next episode. That'll be your homework.
Your friends?
We're
No,
going
you're no
train,
longer
baby.
friends.
I have like the perfect idea too. I'm just gonna make javelins and throw them at you, and you gotta.
Don't give away your perfect idea. So those of you who are left, thank you for sticking by. And
Wait.
That's it. Right?
Can I establish a bond?
Oh,
We
yes.
rush right past it.
Yes, of course.
I'd like to establish a bond with Bikinu, who offered friendship. And I think for the resolution, I would like to like proof of friendship in some way. Yeah.
I love it.
I like it. I like it.
Can't wait to
Do we
break.
each need, like, well, I guess need is a loose term, but like a bond with somebody else? Because like in Monster of the Week, maybe I should.
Monster of the Week was like pre-established.
Each person had like 2, and they kind of like
Yes.
Yeah,
But because
we
like you
did
guys are
session
starting
0.
from scratch, I didn't want to like force a bond on you right away. So we'll be loose, fast and loose with bond rules. Because you gain experience when you resolve a bond. So it's an interesting way.
I just saw the other one for Olim. Oh no, I'm trying to think of one for Basilar. Never mind.
Yeah, because a bond can be, it's a pretty broad term.
Yeah.
And like there are suggestions here for some of them. You know, like at least on my sheet, I don't know, am I allowed to say?
Yeah.
Like
Because I think those are like the ones that you're supposed to choose from.
Yeah, so like one of them is I have sworn to protect blank, which is probably another player. But like we haven't, that's like a pretty substantial bond, you know. It's not just like, oh yeah, we're saying we're friends, but like it's a bond, but I don't know if it's like there hasn't really been any resolution, like you said. So what the bond is, like I don't know if we can really determine just yet.
That's James Bond.
Ooh, you fucker. Like James, what the fuck? Goddamn.
Yeah, I have one too. Blank is a friend of nature, so I will be their friend as well. You know, like it's like little.
So you're supposed to choose these at first and then resolve them throughout the play.
Yeah.
But this is more fun. And obviously like session 2 bonds are going to be more frivolous than like session 10 bonds. You know, you'll get through the little stuff at first. Like, we're friends now for the first
progresses.
Time. But then you're not gonna be like, oh, we're friends again. Like you already did that. Now like the bond is much.
We moved on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
Right. And I mean 8 experiences is a decent amount, I think. This guy's been failing all day and he's not there.
I like the idea. Oh wait, if you resolve a bond, you're saying we also get experience?
Yeah.
So I have a mechanical incentive to finish my to look for role play opportunities and then resolve them. Oh yeah, I'm coming for you, Basilar.
Now, are we good?
I think so.
Okay,
DM, you're supposed to tell us.
All right,
we'll never be satisfied. We'll keep you here all night.
'Cause we're the Hexagon and we're Hexagon.
Wait.
Hi to your mother.
Hi to your mother.
Hi. Hi to your mother.
Oh, still there.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, wait. Oh, we're not gone. Wait, did they say anything
No.
incriminating? That's not the right thing. How do you
Everyone-
listen to that? Okay, bye.